Now, this is a very painful thing to say, but most people then, if you look at the end of their life, the amount of shit that they've consumed, and what that did to the environment, what it did to however many animals that were involved, how many species went extinct related to those supply chains, how many animals in factory farms, and then how many migrant workers, how many people in sweatshops, etc. And you look at all of that, and then you compare it to what that person then did once they got ahead well enough to help other people. Like they are on the liability side of nature's balance sheet.
Yes.
Now, the answer is not obvious because the answer doesn't exist within this system. The answer is actually needing to build new systems that don't take complexity and make it simple or complicated, right? That don't do win-lose game theoretic structures. So when you look at this, it's actually, there aren't obvious answers that are good and meaningful about how to, like, okay, how do we prevent war and have a world full of peace? Like, why the fuck do we still have war? It would seem like world peace is something everybody wants. Okay, well, how do you have a for-profit military-industrial complex as the largest block of global economics and, understanding the laws of supply and demand, have a world that doesn't have war? Like, how do those two things get to live together?
Right.
They don't. They don't, right? And so then when we say, well, we're working on peace, are you working to obsolete having a for-profit military-industrial complex? Because if not, you have no chance of addressing it, because any system of supply has to continue to maintain and protect and grow its source of demand, and that's even just the directors following their fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders of the company. I mean, like that. So the point is, the system as a whole is a paperclip maximizer.
And there's an identity problem here at the core too, that if you're trying to say obsolete a military industrial complex, the people within it don't want to be obsoleted. But in the same way that somebody who has spent their whole life tarring the roads and that's the only skill they feel they have, they also don't want to be obsoleted, because there's that sense of existential confusion and angst over, well, what am I then? I'm being forced to become something else, and that's frightening.
Right. So the shift that has to happen does include a macro structural shift, but it also includes individual, both trauma and attachment level shifts and identity level shifts, right? Because most people's identity, not most people, everybody's identity was conditioned by a system, and it's adaptive within it, and it's actually maladaptive to making something else.